Navajo Nation Proclamation recognizing March 2018 as Navajo Nation Missing Person Awareness Month. The executive branch, legislative branch, and judicial branch hereby recognize the increasing numbers of missing, murdered, and endangered Navajo women, children, and men. We understand that families suffer when loved ones are missing. We have been taught that the Dene were forced to leave the third world when Mai stole the child of Eholsode. I believe that's the right pronunciation. Okay. Who had taken two of the people's daughter for himself until the two daughters were returned with the help of talking God and water sprinkler. Whereas the Net culture provides us with the value, strength, and tools we need to protect our children and vulnerable adults, when Nayeh, the monsters, attacked the people, the children of changing women, were given the tools they needed to protect the people from the monsters. They were given help by their parents, people they met along their journey, and the holy people. The twins were trained, mentored, educated, and nurtured until they had the confidence and skills to face the battles they needed to fight. They succeeded in helping the people because they had the support of family, community, strangers, and holy people. And whereas our children, families, and clans are most precious relationships, and assuring the safety of all the Net children is the most sacred duty of all the Net. And whereas many Dene families struggle to protect their children from modern-day Nayeh, such as loss of family unity, children's disconnection from our culture and values of clan, and absence of one or both parents because of drugs, alcohol, or the effects of trauma. And whereas thousands of Navajo youth lack adequate mentoring, cultural education, and community safety, and these problems face our children at risk of becoming victims of human trafficking and other crimes. And whereas Indigenous women are more likely to be victims of violence at the hands of loved ones or strangers and are at risk of becoming victims of human trafficking, serious injury or death or other crimes than any other race. And whereas hundreds of missing persons are reported to the Navajo Nation police districts every year, and the Navajo people and the Navajo Nation Missing Persons Update Group has reported that there are currently 30 known missing persons from the Navajo Nation. And whereas all Navajo and Indigenous missing persons deserve to be searched for by officials, as they are all our relatives, our mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, nieces, nephews, uncles, aunts, grandmothers, and grandfathers. And whereas the duty to protect and nurture our children and vulnerable adults must be fulfilled to the highest extent possible, and succeeds when the strength of our Dene culture are reflected in our nation's support for strong and healthy families. And now therefore be proclaimed. Section 1, March 2018 is recognized as Navajo Nation Missing Persons Awareness Month. Section 2, the Navajo Nation will advocate and continue educational awareness regarding missing persons and support the families of missing persons and the organizations and individuals providing advocacy efforts, services, and assistance to bring Navajo missing persons home. Section 3, we encourage Navajo Nation's departments to develop a task force to address the crimes of murder, kidnapping, and human and sex trafficking with the help of dedicated social workers, police officers, criminal investigators, healthcare workers, advocates, analysts, attorneys, and committees. Section 4, we encourage Navajo Nation departments to improve cultural education among all employees and to incorporate traditional cultural teachings and values in the programs and services they deliver to improve the self-esteem of our youth, the resiliency of families, and the bonds of clan and community that will increase the safety of our children and vulnerable adults. Ordered this 12th day of March 2018, Russell Begay, President, Navajo Nation; Jonathan Nez, Vice President, Navajo Nation; Lorenzo Bates, Speaker, Navajo Nation Council; Joanne Jane, Chief Justice, Judicial Branch of the Navajo Nation. With that, we will sign this proclamation. And before we sign, statements from our leaders. First, I just want to say that missing person is not just about one age category. It's all ages from youth all the way to senior adults. And I know that when you start looking for someone doesn't show up from work, from home, from even out there herding sheep, visiting a place like in a city, or going to a flea market, or other places like that where there are community gatherings, or even to the casino, is that when that person, that loved one, doesn't show up when they're supposed to, you start having concerns. And as the hours tick by, you call the PD, you call the county, you start calling relatives, you start calling people, you start calling different law enforcement people. And as those hours goes by, your concern gets even worse. And the whole family, community gets involved looking for this individual. And you hope that that person will be found safe, and that they'll be with somebody, maybe visiting someone. Maybe there's a reason why they haven't called yet. Maybe somehow they haven't contacted a relative. And it's just devastating when you find out that that person that you love, that you cherish, has lost their lives, or that you can't find them, that you don't know their whereabouts. Everybody's looking. We have Amber Alert going out, 911 going out, and people are looking and they can't find the individual. It's devastating to that family, we know that. Again, it's not limited to one age group, it's all ages. And the other one is not limited to geography. It's not just Navajo, it's not just places here on the nation, but we have Navajos that go missing in the border towns, also in places like Phoenix and Albuquerque and Salt Lake, and even beyond that. So our people go missing, not just from our nation, but from all these other places around the region and beyond. And so one missing Navajo should always, every effort should be made to find that individual. And as a proclamation says, is that we want to bring awareness to every chapter, to every community, so they know what to look for. They know how to address those issues. And not only that, but to really come together as a nation to put out a concerted effort to find our missing people out there. And you just can't imagine until you hear stories afterward what they went through, what they experienced out there, why they were taken, why they lost their lives. You start hearing about those, and you want to really do something about those to protect our people. So with that, this proclamation is being signed. We're signing this proclamation today so that we can continue with more diligence looking for our missing Navajo people, and also to find ways working together so that our people can be quickly found, or that they will take care of themselves, we take care of ourselves. We are communities, we as it says in our proclamation, working together to make sure that we look after each other, we provide for each other, we teach each other, and especially to love each other, because that's what this whole proclamation is about. It's looking for our loved ones, protecting our loved ones, making sure that they are safe. And that's what this proclamation is about. Speaker?
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, Madam Chief Justice. As we look across this great Navajo Nation of ours, there are always issues, there's always concerns that address this nation. So by virtue of this proclamation is one of those. But the significance of it is that it impacts family members more so. Missing persons is just, as the President indicated, is not limited to our great nation. It goes outside of our nation. By virtue of the fact that you are bringing this to the forefront in terms of awareness is very, very significant. Because this is an area where we all know it's happening, but it's not brought to the forefront. And it's an example of that is the Navajo Nation Council's Sexual Assault Prevention Subcommittee. Bringing those areas, bringing those concerns to the surface. This is another example that we all know it's occurring. But again, by bringing it to the forefront and letting not only our own people know, but the outside of Navajo know that this is a matter that the nation cares about. The President and I had the opportunity to visit with the FBI director a week or so ago. And this is one of many matters that were brought up. To be able to work in partnership with the FBI, with any law enforcement agency out there to address crimes committed on Navajo, within Navajo. And this is an example. We are bringing it to the forefront, and it's very, very significant in that manner. Mr. President.
Thank you. Chief Justice.
Yat e pene. She ya Joanne Jane and she. Kapahin sna ara Kenya ana e bashishi. Ara tkorchini e dashiche ado e ya kapahe e dashinala. The judicial branch of our nation is very aware of the missing people, our missing families. And so when we have one missing person, all of us are holding the nation, find that as our missing family member. So with the judicial branch, we are and will encourage all of our employees, our departments, and they have already been doing this already, to encourage culture, to encourage our language, to encourage the wraparound services for everyone. And we have a peacemaking court that is renowned in the world, in the universe. And with that, we have a lot of teachings. Right at home, we have a lot of teachings. And we have a lot of teachings from our elders, our Kichedo and Hilma. They're teaching us all of our teachings, and they're teaching us all of our songs. And if we keep all of that inside of us, then we can all do this together. We always want to encourage all of us to look for our people, because again, they are part of us. So we want to always encourage all of us, and we will give our prayers to all the families that are here today. We feel for the missing relatives, our relatives. And so with that, this proclamation recognizes our individual, our brother or our sister or our children that are out there.
Thank you, Chief Justice and Vice President.
Thank you, President, Speaker, Madam Chief Justice, and Anil Tsukwa. Good morning. adi no e sos sadi ka ya ada kwan khas chindon ka ije gido ido he so ada kein klinigido jibni na kwa sa si klinigi padan hin na ota khas chinigi ke hajishi dobeda hozini padan hin na ota na tani na klinigi ebni na ai kwa sa si so in here could all here don't he need of you know nishida nigido bayada he need the net. Now one thing I just wanted to mention real quick is that the families that are here, you know, it all started from you with the advocates here, and you never gave up. You came here to the Capitol and you let us know that your relatives have yet to be found. And, you know, sometimes leaders just don't move forward with type of awareness walks, but, you know, it really touched our hearts, touched my heart. And that's when we started to begin this dialogue with the family members. And yes, we sat in the office talking about what we can do to work together to find our relatives. Yes, there is human trafficking going on. Yes, there may be folks that are out there taking our loved ones. But on the other hand too is some of our relatives don't want to be found too because of what's happening maybe at home. And I hope with this awareness that's happening today, we reach out to those folks that are hiding out and let them come home and let them know that we love them, we appreciate them, and that we can heal together and reunite our families. And there are others that for some reason or another may be caught up in human trafficking. We want to let those folks know that are human trafficking that we will find them. And we just signed a law here, President signed a law, Council passed a law that's saying that human trafficking we want it off our nation. And so those folks that are holding our family members, we want to let them know that we will find them. And this proclamation here today is bringing all the staff, all the folks that are doing these awareness walks together to find our loved ones. And we're not going to stand and just be idle and just let people take our relatives. So let this be known to those folks that are out there that are taking our loved ones, that we want our loved ones back here as well. And so on behalf of myself and my family, you know, we want to say thank you to all of the advocates. You know, these ladies here worked very hard, all of them. Family members, you too. You know, you're doing walks, awareness walks in Gallup, bringing the two communities together as well, and raising that awareness of our missing relatives out there. They're missing relatives. They're not missing persons, right? We're going to go and do everything we can to find our missing relatives. So with that, let's continue to hold each other in prayer, hold the families in prayer as well. You know, they're going through I'm sure some tough times. I don't know how it is, but I can just imagine what you all go through on a daily basis, wondering whereabouts, wondering about who your family members' whereabouts. And I'm sure, you know, you don't eat, you don't take care of things at house because you're just so focused on trying to find your missing loved ones. And so that's going to be our prayer, and that was our prayer this morning with the pastors that met at Quality Inn this morning, that we will find our loved ones and to bring closure and to bring healing to your family and also to the Navajo Nation. So, thank you, President.
You know, every Navajo is valuable. Every Navajo has value. No matter who they are, where they come from, how old they are, how young they may be, what kind of job they have, what they do with their lives, where they go, to relax, for relaxation. Doesn't matter who they are. Every Navajo is valuable. And we need to treat each one of us, each other in that manner, in that way. And so when one is missing, it hurts all of us. And with social media, it goes out very quickly. And I appreciate it because the minute I get one of those, we send it off to the proper authorities to make sure that they're involved and that they're mobilized also. With this proclamation, that's going to even be more so. So again, Vice President mentioned, those of you could advocate na khedob kada in the batsadobsen. Hot ego beke na kregit ase ba ketnitzendo kehen kidit ne utle bedat. Kodoshink at ni ka nature dole to che hat nida dole just la da hot elia. Che hedge nitle. Khaje khala shkat o was. So la khaje abendan shidil ini la khaje has khay. Oje nitle. At asahajit in the halden, asah, but conjure, Gadot asah, but kajin in the halden, asahajit in the halden. Hajala, Nikinat Ani, Hajal and Handal, Nishigi has cre. It alapini nadon, he kai jeta, Jenizentle, the proclamation, Iki, Eben Natchin, it anilsko, but no bandit, Indo left on, he can't nature to le, hot ego shin. Nasko hot hold just so that ado niki kochigon kitas ajiko Navajo Nation programs at Ninigi missing person office hot dot ato njonago hot ajo da initial le adon the human trafficking at Ninigi da it I don't under the Department of Health ado social services adiki a bilik edol yeto ajoshi staff edol dito agandat so at least you'll have a contact person, a contact office where you can turn to, and that office can mobilize the entire nation to help look for that missing person that you love. Ashi will sign the proclamation.
You guys want to come in the back?
Again, this is the proclamation that we sign, and we're saying to all of Navajo Nation, chapter houses, our programs, police force, and other partners that we have, county, state, federal, FBI, to help us make this an effective tool that will be used to find our missing Navajo people that we love and cherish. And that people that their relatives love, they want to see them found, they want to be found safely and in good hands. And so we always pray to our Creator for that to happen at all times. So again, thank you for those that are still today looking and hoping and praying for that loved one to be found. And we want to join you in helping you locate that person and that person be found safe and sound and return back to you as the person that you love. Go ahead, La. Proclamation. Go ahead. Thank you.